Yeah, that's what I kind of want to use that. Yeah, I thought so. No, yeah, I'll do it with you. Okay, can you see this thing? I'm scared you're gonna be able to see the cord. I didn't know you could see yourself right here. Oh God, I don't like that. Okay, it's on, I think. Whew. Okay. All right. Can you see that cord? Am I looking at this one? I'm assuming. Not that one. Okay. All right. Good enough. Okay. Oh yeah, I got this pink on today. How do you have your hands? Like this? I look way too relaxed. I look like I Okay, here we go. You ready? All right. Students all across the country uniting for a common cause. How some kids here in Austin are sparking conversations about classroom safety. Oh, me. Okay. A tearful goodbye for a former First Lady. How thousands are paying their respects. Right now, people are lining up to pay their final respects to Barbara Bush. This is a live look at St. Martin's Episcopal Church here in Houston, where Mrs. Bush's body will lie in repose until midnight tonight. The public viewing began just a couple of minutes ago. She died Tuesday at the age of 92 after announcing she would no longer receive medical treatment for her health issues. Barbara Bush's family calls her the Enforcer as a tribute to her no-nonsense attitude. She is remembered for her work promoting literacy and children's health. The services for the former First Lady are taking place at the church the Bush family attended for decades. Barbara Bush and her husband were married for 73 years. All of their children were raised attending St. Martin's. Former President George H.W. Bush served the parish as an usher. His son George took on roles in the Christmas pageant, and Barbara Bush was an active member of the church's needlepoint group. The pastor got to know the family well and says the former First Lady took a calm approach to planning her funeral services. He's like, what happened? Okay. Following tomorrow's funeral, Barbara Bush, here, let me start over. Following tomorrow's funeral, Barbara Bush will be buried at the George Bush Presidential Library on the Texas A&M campus in College Station. President Trump will not be attending services for the former First Lady. In a statement, the White House says Trump made the decision Trump made the decision out of respect for the Bush family and the desire to avoid disruptions. But First Lady Melania Trump and several former U.S. presidents do plan to attend the funeral in Houston tomorrow. We will bring you full coverage of the funeral right here on KXAN starting at 11 o'clock. I wonder if I should, okay, go back to the beginning. I'm just going to read that story again because I think that's what I'm going to use. Don't you think that's the most important? Like out of the ones that are on there? The one before that, like the very, very top. Yeah, I think that was pretty. Because that's like a national thing, you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. They're probably like, get those interns out of here. Okay, is this the top? All right. All right, here we go. The services for the former First Lady are taking place at the church the Bush family attended for decades. Barbara Bush and her husband were married for 73 years. All of their children were raised attending St. Martin's. Former President George H.W. Bush served the parish as an usher. His son George took on roles in the Christmas pageant, and Barbara Bush was an active member of the church's needlepoint group. The pastor got to know the family very well and says the former First Lady took a calm approach to planning her funeral services. Following tomorrow's funeral, Barbara Bush will be buried at the George Bush Presidential Library on the Texas A&M campus in College Station. You can skip that. I don't need that. President Trump is not attending. Okay. Students all across the country are taking a stand against violence in schools by walking out of class today. You're looking live at one of those walkouts happening right now in Pflugerville, right next to the high school. The walkout comes on the 19th anniversary of the massacre at Columbine High School, which 13 people were killed. Some Austin students are also participating in the walkouts, but others are taking a different approach, making today a day of action instead. Classes are canceled at Keeling Middle School, giving students an opportunity to meet with city and state leaders about what they want to see done to prevent violence in the classroom. Students say the experience is empowering. Okay. The students have been preparing for the day of action all week, with teachers incorporating action civics into their lesson plans. Police officers are stepping up their patrols at Hays High School today after a threat was posted on Snapchat. The Hays County Sheriff's Office says they have not established any validity to the threat or developed a person of interest. They say they are reaching out to students who may have been targets or potential suspects. The principal at Hays High School says counselors are on hand today to any students who need help. A teenager is facing charges after police say he made a threatening post towards Westlake High School on social media. The principal sent a letter to parents about what happened. He says school resource officers immediately arrested the student. They say he was not armed. The principal says there is no reason to believe there is an ongoing threat to students. And now, first warning weather. Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay. The man on trial accused of trying to assassinate a judge will be back on the stand on Monday. Chimney O'Neary answered questions from his attorney for more than 5 hours. Prosecutors say he orchestrated the attack on Judge Julie Kosarik in 2015 because he was worried she would send him to prison. But yesterday, he told the court he did not care about the possibility that Judge Kosarik could have sentenced him to 6 or 7 years behind bars for violating probation. But he did admit to finding out where the judge lived and going to her house. A law was passed in Judge Kosarik's name after the attack, aiming to protect judges at the courthouse and in their homes. It also created the state's first courthouse security director. KXAN's Sally Hernandez caught up with him as he what? Oh my God. Okay, go back to the KXAN thing, Sally. Okay. KXAN's Sally Hernandez caught up with him as he crisscrosses Texas touring courthouses. That is like a tongue twister. Okay, I'm not using that. Keep going, keep going. Wow. Crisscrosses the courthouses. LOL. Crisscrosses the court. Oh, maybe I should have been sitting up. Okay, here we go. Now I look a little taller. Crisscrosses the courthouses. Okay. Here's what else has changed this year with the Judge Julie Kosarik Judicial and Courthouse Security Act. It allows judges and their spouses to keep their home address private from public records. It requires each county to form a courthouse security committee. And it mandates court security officials go through training in hopes that what has happened to Judge Kosarik doesn't happen again. A former daycare operator will spend more than 20 years in prison after a baby died at her home. Holly Harrison pleaded guilty earlier this month, the tampering with evidence and no contest to injury to a child. Harrison ran the All About Kids daycare from her Georgetown home in 2016 when a 5-month-old Brody Havens died. Harrison said he choked on one of his infant mittens, but medical experts testified that was impossible because it was too large for him to choke on. Investigators say Harrison waited at least 14 minutes to call 911 for help when she realized something was wrong with the boy. She could be eligible for parole within 5 years. Investigators are still trying to get to the bottom of a deadly East Austin shooting. We checked with APD just a few minutes ago. They tell us they are still sorting through information about the shooting, which happened around 7 o'clock last night on Paquito Street near Richard Overton Avenue. A man died and another is in the hospital. Right now, police say they are not sure if just one person or multiple people opened fire. Investigators talked to witnesses and neighbors to get a better idea of who might be involved. Neighbors say they believe the suspect or suspects took off in a vehicle after the shooting. Okay, here's my last one. Here we go. Okay. Austin's newest piece of art is paying tribute to the youngest bombing victim, 17-year-old Draylon Mason. It's painted on an electric housing box at the corner of Weberville Road and North Pleasant Valley Road in East Austin. It was created by artist Mike Johnson, It was created by artist Mike Johnson, who says he chose the location because it's close to the Teens Church, Corinth Baptist Church on 16th Street. He says he did not know Draylon personally, but he felt inspired to pay tribute to the teenager after learning about him and how he lived his life.
Do you think I could do those stories?
Yeah, here. Hop up. Here we go. All right.